Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 40 of Samp and Chance. Episode 40. Yes, you heard that correct. We have managed to make 40 episodes for all of you and for us, I guess, ultimately. Um, Joined as always is my man with the plan, Mr. Chance Michaels. Chance, how are you, buddy? Happy
I'm doing
Thursday.
good. I'm happy we made it to 40 episodes. All of them have been good. They've all been of good quality. I'm proud of every one of them.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. And they can only be getting better and better. I'd love to kind of maybe go back to maybe episode 2 and 3 and see what we did and where
Yeah.
we kind of progressed. But yeah, no, a lot of good stuff has come our way. We've been really fortunate with the plethora of news and everything that's kind of been happening this year. 2022 has been, I mean, we got what, 3 4 months left, 3 months left in the year, and
Yeah.
no, four, sorry,
Four,
four.
well, yeah.
Well, we're almost over. August is almost over, so we're, technically 3 more months left, and yeah, this is fun. This has been great. I can't wait. I can't wait to
We've had
see.
some good interviews on the way. We've had some good of our own content. We've had it all.
No, 100%, and there's a lot more great stuff coming along the way. So just just bear with us, stay tuned, stay with us, like and subscribe, guys. Like and subscribe. Hit
Absolutely.
that notification button down at the bottom. It takes half a second. We've timed it. We really have. And all your support means the world to us. Samp_Chance. That's our Instagram handle. Go there. Why? Because then you'll find our bio tree and you can find all our links Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and you're already at Instagram, so you're already there. But here we are, a few days now, maybe close to a week removed from Usyk Joshua. I want to start it this way, man. A few years ago, I guess 2019, 2019, the heavyweight boxing division was dominated by a three-headed dragon. Two of those heads decided to fight for one of the titles, and the other head was going to defend history against the winner of that. That was always the plan. But no one saw the two heads having a draw in the first fight.
No,
And
unexpected.
that basically changed everything because then our third dragon decided to have a fight in between, which he lost,
Surprisingly, yeah.
surprisingly, in Madison Square Garden, and that changed the dynamic of everything. Everyone thought the possibility of seeing these great fights was never going to happen. So let's fast forward. Part two happens between Fury and Wilder, and as expected by most people, Wilder got the job done. A lot of people thought he got the job done in the first fight, and you
No,
know
you
what? I
mean
was
Theory got the job done.
sorry, Fury got the job done. I
Yeah.
apologize. I think he got the job done in the first fight too, despite the knockdowns and
So do
everything.
I.
He dominated that fight, but I mean, uh, judging is judging, right? And we saw that again this weekend with one of the judges in the Usyk Joshua 2 fight. Losing to Ruiz kind of took the luster off of everything, but then he won the belt back. Then he defended against Pulev and won, and then basically here we are now, where that fight will probably never happen now. So there's only one head left, and that is Tyson Fury. And Tyson Fury versus Usyk is probably next in the cards, but we'll get to that in a second. Let's just talk about the fight that happened on the weekend. Your thoughts on it, Chance?
It's basically what I predicted in our last podcast that Usyk will win on points. I thought Joshua fought a better fight this time. He had him in the ninth round. He seemed to let him off the hook a little bit. I thought he'd pressure him more and step on the gas, but Usyk was hurt in the round 9, and Joshua kind of backed off in the 10th, and he recouped and outboxed him.
Well, I'll say this. I gave Joshua 3 rounds. I gave him the second, just for a bit of the output that he had there. It was a little bit more of the aggressor in the second round, I felt, and the eighth and the ninth is where I think he got his round, and absolutely the ninth. And I did predict. I said that Joshua would probably win by TKO or KO in the ninth round, and it came close, but he just didn't have enough in him. Here's my prediction. Here's my take on it, the whole thing. He got outboxed,
He did.
severely outboxed, and it wasn't anything special. It wasn't anything that would make you go, "Oh my God." It was more of a very technical, very gifted boxer that just dominated him. And basically, it's not about throwing power punches. It's not that. It's just touching him and his counter
That's what he
punching.
was doing. Yeah.
And basically, he was basically winning it on the points. Like he knew that's how he had to do it. Joshua showed glimpses of Joshua in the ninth round, and absolutely, yeah, but you would think he could build off of that on the 10th, but Usyk came out in beast mode in the 10th
He
round, and there
did,
was
yeah. He
nothing he could
recouped
do.
fast.
He recouped fast, and he basically won the fight in the 10th round. That was basically it. After that, Joshua really needed a knockout, and I'm not saying that Usyk coasted to victory, but he didn't, he didn't do Joshua any favors. Just kept
No, I
touching him,
agree.
kept touching him, and he didn't help him. Total punch stats here, if we may, really quickly. So Usyk landed 170 punches out of 712 thrown. That's the most that Joshua's ever been landed on,
Yeah, he landed pretty well.
right? Joshua only landed 124 punches out of 492. Um, Total jabs into the body, 39 by Usyk, 23 by Joshua. And power punches, 131 out of 315 for Usyk, compared to that of 101 out of 280 shots landed by Joshua. Now, here's something else I've been kind of looking at here as well. Everyone was talking about, okay, the changing trainers, the changing trainers, change in technique, change in everything. And okay, yeah, he brought in Robert Garcia. He had Angel there as well, who's been there for a few camps now.
Yep.
I think a lot of people forget to realize or choose not to accept the fact that Joshua coming to this fight had lost. Well, at the end of this fight, he finished, with 3 out of 5 were losses, right? The Ruiz rematch and the Pulev, or was it? Yeah, it was it Pulev he fought, right?
Yeah, he beat him.
Yeah, he beat him, and those were the two victories. Other than that, the last out of his last 5, 3
He's
of them have
lost
been
three.
losses. Yeah,
Yeah,
Usyk has his number. I'll say Usyk will beat him 99 times out of 100.
I agree.
He
I hope
just
they don't
has
fight
his
again. They're
number.
done with this. I think he put the exclamation point on it.
Well, he had to have, right? I mean, there is really no rematch here. So what I was talking about the trainers here, Rob McCracken sitting at home on his couch is probably watching this fight thinking, I could have done this with him.
Yep.
Because I found Garcia doing the exact same things in between rounds that McCracken was doing for him in the first fight. That false feeling of, oh, you're winning.
I don't know
Those
why they
Garcia,
say that when you know he's not winning. I don't know why they're doing that.
I think it's supposed to possibly mentally make you feel more confident.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the guy who just had sex with 2 women. You know who he is because when he walks out of the room, he's fucking got that bounce in his step, and he's got that swagger, and he's feeling good, right?
Yeah.
Now, unbeknown to him, that could have been the worst sex those 2 women ever had in their life,
Good point.
right? But as long as you have that mentality, if you're going to tell your boxer you're losing, then what kind of mental state are you going to be in?
Yeah, that's a fair point. You figure they would have said, "Hey, man, put the pressure on. It's a close fight. You got to step up more. You got, I don't understand why they weren't pressuring him a little more to push the pace and hit him more. I don't get it."
I mean, I'm not a trainer and I wasn't at ringside, but I don't know what the peripheral or the view you have of ringside in the corner is. But I mean, I can understand. Like I said, Usyk fought a very technical
He fought a
fight.
good fight.
And because of that, it didn't look like he was creating a lot of damage. I can see where I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to find
Yeah, no, I get it. I
some
get what
kind
you're
of
saying.
reason to kind of justify or kind of help understand where that came from. The other problem with Joshua here I found was that his whole career up until Ruiz, which I think also falls into what I'm about to say, um, indicates to me that Joshua's career was basically set up for all the fights that he ever had. For him to look good, for him to look superior.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until the last 5 fights that you got to see a Joshua that was actually facing people that could legitimately do something. Now, Klitschko, someone
He
might
was
say to
getting
me, well,
older.
what
He was
about
on the
Klitschko?
back end of
Hey,
his
he
prime.
was the back end of his prime. Exactly, right?
You
So I
still
mean,
put him down though, but yeah.
he still put him down, but that there should have been an indication. And I think that was an indication to Eddie Hearns and his team. Like, oh shit, if this 40-year-old something can do this to him, we got to be careful in who we're going to match him up with. And I bet Ruiz was brought in. Oh, look, it's a short, stout, little, chubby Mexican fella.
Yeah.
We'll have fun with him, right? And to be fair, man, Joshua's biggest problem I find in going back and looking at some of the fights, he cannot deal with good hand speed and fast feet,
No.
fast footwork. right? Those seem to be his two biggest pieces of kryptonite that affect him. Ruiz brought fast feet, and he brought quick hands in that first fight.
But nobody's seen that coming. Yeah,
No one saw that coming, right? Neither did Joshua. And everyone can say, "Oh, it was first Madison Square Garden, this and that." But if you fought in Germany against 90,000 people, the way he did against Klitschko and whatnot, what's 20,000 people,
exactly. No,
right?
that's an excuse they were using.
Right. And if Ruiz, who I'm still not impressed by in any way, um, I'm sure he kicked my ass. Absolutely, I
We'll see him in
respect
a
him.
few weeks here.
Well, yeah, I will see him in a few weeks, and I think he's going to get knocked out. You know,
Right.
um, but because I'll touch on that in a second. I just wanted to finish this off. If Ruiz hadn't been the fat little kid in the candy store after the door had been locked and stuffed himself, made himself fatter before that rematch, he would have won. I mean, the guy couldn't even lift his feet off the mat in the second fight.
Yeah, I don't know why he was doing that. You just beat Joshua, you have a rematch, and you don't train hard, you get out of shape.
It's that whole like, oh my God, look at all this money I have now.
Mm-hmm.
And he just basically, you could see it. You could see it. He was making his
He looks
rounds
good
over.
now, though. He's lost a lot of weight since
He's
Joshua fight,
Yeah,
so we'll
yeah,
see
he
what
has, but
happens.
he still has no chin.
Yeah,
I still say he has no chin. I mean, at the end of the day, his last fight against Chris Arreola,
yeah.
how old is Arreola? He was like in his 40s, right? That was kind of pretty much his
Late 30s,
song.
early 40s, something like that.
Exactly. He still got knocked him down twice,
Yeah,
right? So I mean, in my opinion, I don't think he stands a chance against Ortiz.
it's gonna be somebody's going down in that fight. It ain't going the distance. Tell you that.
I think it'd be. I think it'd be. I think it's. I'm gonna call it right now, man. I'm pretty safe. Ortiz is gonna beat him. Knockout. Eighth round, seventh, eighth round. Easy. He'll
Could
knock
be.
him down. He'll knock him down in the third, I think, once. He'll probably knock him again, probably in the fifth, and then he'll finish him in the fifth, eighth.
Could be. Yeah.
Guy's got no chin. You can lose all the weight in the world, but you still have a chin.
Yeah. No, I
And
agree
he's
with you.
right. And that's been proven. Um, so that fight happens and the outburst happens. Your thoughts?
What was all that about?
I think it's an accumulate. Honestly, I've thought about it. I've watched it back a few times now, and I've seen it and watch it and watch it, and I basically saw a man have a nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
He surrounded himself, his team, everyone around him, his whole career has told him, "You're the best. You're the best. You're this. You're that." Always whispering in his ear, constantly. And you would think that Garcia and the new team that he had wouldn't do that because that was what I feel his downfall has been in the last couple of years. Is that he's not living up to the hype and he's not understanding why he's losing. And that's just an accumulation of a man who just had a nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
He's held it together. And to be fair, man, I have to agree with Eddie Hearns when he says that, look at what this guy has been doing for the last 5, 6 years. Mega fight after mega fight after mega fight after stadium, right? Like, I mean, the guy's been going full tilt. Hold on, and I can get it. Like, when he lost to Usyk the first time, he was pretty. And when he lost to Ruiz the first time, he was pretty cool about it. He held it all in. But I think this time, because he changed everything, because he trained
They
extra hard,
still lost. Yeah.
and he still lost. It's a burning point. I can understand it. Was it the right time? No, but I get it, right? But I do respect the fact that he caught himself at the end and was able to come back. And I don't get the whole tirade. He took away a very special moment for Usyk, by
Yeah, he
doing
was
all of
very
that.
selfish. They should have cut him. They should have cut his mic off. Get out of here.
Yeah, no, and that was just really
Did
unfortunate.
you
And
see what
that
he did?
just
Did you see what he did backstage to Lomachenko?
no, what do you do? Tell me.
So backstage, Lomachenko said, congratulations, you fought a good fight. You know, and he tried to lunge at him. What did you say to me? And his crew had to pull him back. Yeah, backstage after the fight.
Yeah, no, I mean Anthony
And
Joshua.
Lomachenko, what is he? 140 pounds, a little guy. Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah, no. Well, here's what I think. I think Joshua needs to take a little time off. Like
Well, I got
legit.
bad news for Joshua. If he fights again, he's going to be fighting Wilder, and Wilder's going to knock him to China, man. He will
I don't know.
destroy him.
I don't think that's going to be the next fight. I think he would fight someone like a Dillian White,
Yeah, that
probably.
could be something
Right?
safe.
No, no, something safe. He can't go right to. He can't do that. And if any of his people are telling him to do that, he needs to change his management. I think he'd be better served to be with Frank Warren or something.
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
This is Eddie Hearn's gravy train.
Go him and Canelo, yeah.
Well, Canelo is his own man. He only comes to Eddie when he needs to,
Yeah, that's true.
right? I mean, other than that, Canelo goes where the money is,
Smart.
right? He likes Eddie. He'd like to work with Eddie more and more, and he's probably the one promoter that he does work with the most right now.
Hmm.
But I mean, his main source of income has been Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, he's his cash cow.
He's his cash cow, right? So I mean, he has to really be smart in what he wants to do now. I think the best thing for Anthony Joshua right now is to take some time off. He's still young. He's not old.
Yeah, he's only 31.
He's only 30, 32.
32 now? Okay.
I believe so. Yeah. 31, 32 years old. Let's kind of say he needs to relax. He needs to just unwind, rethink everything, and come back with a fresh perspective. I just think it's just been way too long. He's been grinding at it forever. He's been away from his family for months on end for training, even in preparation for whatever. Just he's really steadfast. I'll give him that. He is a professional when it comes to his skill and his trade and whatnot.
Yep,
Unfortunately,
absolutely.
that outburst kind of took some of the shine off of him. And I think the best thing for him is just to walk away a little bit. People have a short memory these days. We've talked about it. The attention span of the average fan is really short,
Yeah.
right? People will forget. We live in a what have you done for me lately and what can you do for me tomorrow world.
Yeah, he needs to take some time off for a bit, 6 months, 8 months.
Something
Let
like that.
let Fury and Usyk box it out and see what happens with Wilder.
Now let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Right after the fight, Fury comes out and he starts to badmouth Usyk and calls him the foreigner and the Ukrainian and this and that.
Middleweight, yeah.
The middleweight. And you know what? I get it and everything, but now we're looking at December 18th possible as a possible date, the night before, or December 17th or 18th, the night before the World Cup final.
Okay, that's what they're thinking.
That's what they're hoping for. The World Cup final is on the Sunday, so whatever that Saturday is, the 17th or 18th, I'm not sure, but I believe that's the date they're looking at. But here's the deal. Now, Fury's kind of contradicting himself in interviews that I've listened to, and he's saying one thing, but he comes back with another thing. And you know how much he wants for this fight?
500 mil, yeah.
Pounds.
He
So
wants
almost
it
a
in
billion.
pounds.
Well, they kept calling it pounds. I don't know what the currency would
I
be,
think he was
but
saying Mayweather got 400 million for Pacquiao. I should get 500 million. I'll put
yeah,
more
but
people.
they kept talking pounds, and in every what do you call it, article that I've looked at, the pound symbol is being there.
Okay,
It's
maybe.
not,
Usyk
yeah.
also said, if I'm not fighting Fury, I'm retiring. I'm not fighting anybody else. So they're both putting the pressure on for the promoters to make this happen, right?
Well, you know who I think he should fight? If he doesn't want it, I can say Deontay should possibly get a chance.
Well, Deontay's got that fight booked up in October 1st, but yeah.
No, yeah, I know, but I mean, even Deontay's put his hat in there. He said, "Hey, look, if he doesn't want to fight, I'll do it."
They're going to
Right?
make Usyk and Fury will happen. It's going to
It
happen.
will happen, but apparently, right now, from what I understand, Fury said you have 7 days to show me the money.
Yeah, I said that. I seen that. Yeah.
Right? I guarantee if they show it to him on the 9th or 10th day, he'll still go ahead and fight.
Oh hell yeah! Oh hell yeah! He wants to unify the heavyweight champ. He'll beat Usyk. He will knock him out, and he'll retire.
He has to. He has to do something because it's not
Usyk is
fair.
just too small for him. It's as simple as that. Size
No,
matters,
no,
weight matters.
no. I get
Yes,
it.
Usyk might be a little more skilled, but when Fury's going to rough him up, he's not like Joshua. He's going to come right in his face and rough him up and hold him and grab him and dirty box him and push him around. He's never had that before, and he's going to feel it. That's a lot of
Well,
weight.
that's the thing, right? I mean, he's only had 4 fights in the heavyweight division,
Mm-hmm.
right? And not to say take anything away from what he's accomplished and what he's done. I still say he's pound for pound the best guy in boxing right now.
I think even Wilder would beat Usyk just for the simple fact that he hits so hard and he's so big.
See, that's the thing, though. I think that Usyk would beat Wilder because if we're talking about skill and boxing
He's got more
IQ,
skill, yeah. I'm just saying if Wilder hits that right hand, I don't think he's like Fury. He's not going to be able to get back up.
no, maybe he won't if he gets that right hand off. But I mean, if he can dominate like he did and just kind of box the way he
But I
boxes
don't
from
think
the
Usyk ever
outside.
feared Joshua. But you're gonna fear Wilder and Fury because they know one shot lights out with these guys. They're that dangerous.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it
But we'll
100%.
see.
But again, I just based on what I've seen from Usyk, the technical savvy, the way
Oh,
he
he's
fights and
great.
everything. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I think he posed more of a problem for Deontay Wilder than he would,
Yeah, I
Fury.
agree.
Absolutely, right? I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, he has that punch. Deontay has that punch. He will always
I haven't
have
seen
that
it yet, but
until
yeah.
something, right? But I mean, we've seen him outboxed.
Yep.
We've seen him put up against it, right? Again, I don't think any fight that you see Usyk in will be one of those fights where you go, "Wow, that was a great knockout," or "Wow, that was a great, this and that." You're going to see technical boxing at his best. Only the purest boxing fans will be able to appreciate what he
Exactly.
does, right? I think personally, and this is something I think you might enjoy hearing me say, Deontay Wilder against Usyk will probably be more entertaining and bring in more of the casual fan, as you like to say, than Fury Usyk would.
Yeah, depending where they do that, one would probably be in the States.
Well, if it was against Deontay, I'm sure they'd come to America.
Yeah, do
Right? Right
Vegas.
now, the only people who can afford this fight would be the Saudis.
Because of the money that they're asking, yeah.
Right? They're the only guys who can afford it. So if it's going to be Fury, it'll be in Saudi Arabia because that's the only place that can pay him for that. Is it worth 500 million pounds, which is close to $1 billion? If you exchange it,
They ain't gonna
nope.
give him that much. I'll say, 500 million American, take it or leave it, pal.
No, he'll take that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he's referring to, but still, I don't even think it's worth 500 million.
Well, he's saying that Mayweather's getting a couple hundred million a fight, and he's gonna say, I'll put more people in the
Yeah, but
crowd than
he's in
Mayweather. That's what
Vegas.
he's
He
doing.
stays in Vegas, though. That's the thing. He fights in Vegas, right?
So it's gonna have to be somewhere, like you said, Saudi Arabia or somewhere like that.
No, I'm talking about Mayweather. His fights, the 200 million, the 400 million
Yeah, yeah. It's
against
always his fights
Pacquiao,
in Vegas.
right? All his fights are in Vegas because you're going to sell everything out. Like, I mean, think about it. Look how much Canelo and Triple G tickets are
I
at,
checked those tickets today. Funny that you say that. Well, the cheapest ticket right now, Canadian, for this is like upper deck, touch the roof,
yeah,
835.
let's come down a bit.
Yeah, come out a little bit.
Come down to
One
$100.
seat. What's that in American? Like 1,400, 1,300?
800? No, it'd be close. Well, you know what? I'd say it's closer to maybe maybe 1,050 with the
Yeah.
exchange rate,
So
right? So you're still looking at 1,000 US, let's say.
imagine that if I was at Allegiant Stadium and get in for like $80.
Probably less if we were looking for the same seats,
Yeah, that's the thing.
60, right? And I wish they would have done it there because the gate would have probably been the same
They would
at
have
the end of
sold
the
out
day.
Allegiant Stadium.
It would have totally sold out Allegiant Stadium. You still
Oh
have
yeah.
the same. You probably make more
And it'd be a
at
cool
Allegiant.
spectacle, It'd be so cool to see that.
I would love to see it, even if it was at SoFi. That would have been fun,
That'd have been cool.
right? If you think about both locations, Mexican Independence Day, there's a lot of Latino and Mexican families that are living in those two cities. A lot of
Yep.
the people that would travel to Vegas, but a lot of them are in LA,
Yep.
right? And it's not that far up from the border either. You're only about an hour and a half out from the border,
Yeah, it's not far at all. It'd be huge. It would have been
right?
huge.
So I don't see the logic in it. Like, I mean, $800 for a nosebleed seat. I mean, you really have disposable income if you're gonna buy that ticket.
Yeah. Or you're a big, big, big Triple G or Canelo fan. Those are the only reasons. Yeah.
Well, I'm
That's a
looking at you,
lot of
bro.
money.
So I'm wondering if what you're gonna do here. So
And I know the only thing holding me up is I got that Monday Night Raw trip to next week. Literally, I'll be leaving 6 days later. That's the only
yeah.
thing backing me down.
I'm telling you, I would rather go to Vegas for the Spence Crawford fight if it ever gets announced, man. That's the fight that I'd want to go to.
I just love Triple G so much, and I think this
I
might be
get
his
it.
last fight, right? That's the
No,
thing.
no, no, no. I get that 100%. But for just something special, I think that when it's announced, when it comes to fruition, that's going to be a very special
I
fight.
don't think it's going to happen this year, man.
If it doesn't happen this year, it's going to happen in the next, 4 or 5 months.
Yeah,
By
but then Bud's going
February.
to be 35. He's already getting the back end of his prime already again. Here we go again.
But I don't
Because
know
when
what you're going to
Pacquiao
do.
fought Mayweather, Pacquiao's already 35, 36.
Well, then that's on fucking Bud.
No, I agree. But I'm just saying, like, the longer we wait, the less
Yeah,
quality you're going
yeah.
to get.
No, I get it. I get it, right? But that's purely on him. I mean, who's got more of the titles? Spence does,
Mm-hmm.
right? So all the, like, why wouldn't Bud not be motivated? He
I don't know what
wanted
they're
this
doing,
fight.
man.
The guy's been in a car accident. He came back half a shell of an individual in his first fight. Looked amazing in his second fight, Errol Spence, I'm
Did
talking about. Looked like the Spence that everybody wanted to see Crawford fight. I don't see what the holdup is here. There's no promoter on one side. He's
I don't
he's
know.
representing himself. He can go anywhere.
He can make it happen. He wants to make it happen.
Yeah. Well, again, we're not there. We're not privy to it. We don't know what's going on. But I hope that fight gets
It's funny
figured
because
out
when
pretty
Pocky
soon.
was going to fight Spence before Spence hurt his eye, that fight was made in a couple weeks. So I don't know what the hold up of Bud's end is.
So it almost makes you wonder: is this Bud holding everything up?
Well, yeah, because Pocky got Spence in the ring. Well, they didn't fight because he got hurt, but they were going to get it on. That's what reason that I went. Spence got hurt, but so why can't Bud make it happen if Pocky can do it? Pocky is like 40 years old, 41 at the time.
But do you think Spence made it because he saw the opportunity for the big cash,
Yeah,
man?
he wanted to finish a legend off, send him back in and get his name out there and big cash. Yeah, but he'll get big cash too with Crawford.
Well, it would be big cash, but I mean, but
That'll be at Cowboy Stadium, probably Jerry World.
well, I mean, they're based out of Texas, so I mean,
Yeah,
well,
that'd be
well,
huge.
no, he's from Iowa, right?
Yeah, Spence is Texas.
Yeah, it's Spence is Texas, and yeah, I mean,
And Jerry Jones is a big Errol Spence fan, so you know if they're gonna fight, he'll put that on.
yeah, no doubt, and he'll probably sell too.
Oh yeah,
But it's kind of interesting the world of boxing right now, man. We got all these great fights coming up. I mean, I think we're a little quiet this weekend. Nothing too spectacular
nothing
happening in
major.
the
No,
world.
nobody have notoriety.
I mean, I'll be watching whatever's
Following weekend,
there.
your boy Ruiz is fighting
Uh,
Ortiz. September
Ortiz.
3rd, I think that's fighting.
Yeah, they're basically coming out. Here we go. Give me a quick second here. So this weekend we have Jose Prasada against Richard Comey. I think it's gonna be a fun fight. I
Yeah, it
have
should
no
be all
problem with
right.
that. I mean, I'll be on there watching it. It's coming out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Sunday, September 4th, Andy Ruiz Jr. against Luis Ortiz. Now that's a crazy night. You got
They're doing it
those
on
two.
Sunday.
Sunday, September 4th. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, think about it. You got Clash. Well, no, that wouldn't really affect anything. Clash of the Castle is on the 3rd, but it's a long weekend too, right? It's Labor Day
Yeah, it's a long
weekend.
weekend before school.
And that's happening at the Crypto Arena in Los Angeles.
Crypto.com in LA. Yeah,
Yeah, so that's happening. September 10th, you got Clarissa Shields against Savannah Marshall. That's going to be really good. I think, personally, I think that's the next big card in boxing. September 17th, you got your man Triple G against Canelo.
people are betting Canelo big time because I looked at the fight odds when it first came out. Triple G was plus 33, which means 3-1 underdog. Now he's a
Yeah,
4-1 underdog. So the sharps are putting all their money on Canelo. So
no,
$100 on
100%.
Triple G wins, you get 400. Not a bad return.
Oh, there you go, man. Shakir Stevenson, who we saw fight, is coming back on Friday, September 22nd in Newark, New Jersey against Robson
I don't
Conceição.
know what the point of that fight is. That's just another tune-up for him.
It has to be a tune-up fight for something else, right? He hasn't fought since we saw him in April, so he's just doing his due
Yep,
diligence
I get it.
and keeping it going. And you gotta respect that, right?
Yep.
Who I'm falling in love with here a little bit now is Nico Walsh-Ali.
Yeah, we've seen him live too.
We saw him live, but he's fought like a couple times since then too.
Yeah,
The
he's
guy's
he's
putting in
a
his
good fighter,
work,
man.
man. He's putting his work in. And that's something I wanted to talk about really quick. I was listening to someone talk about this, and it was really valid. All these guys look at Mike Tyson and all these legends and Lennox Lewis and whatnot, and these younger boxers, right? And they're trying to get that kind of notoriety and whatnot. But people don't understand that these guys, Tyson fought 15 times in 1 year
It's crazy.
leading up to his title fight. Granted, there were fucking one round, maybe 3 rounds tops, 4 rounds tops at any given time. Let's say each fight average of maybe 3.5 rounds,
Yeah.
right? But he put the work in. Now, this is the problem I have with boxing today. You have all these great names and whatnot, but none of these guys want to put the work in.
It's because the promoters are protecting them. They want to fight a few times a year for the cash cow, right?
Yeah, but it makes no sense. You don't build your legacy that way, man. You got to
No, I
put the
know.
work in, right? I mean, a guy like Joshua would have benefited a lot from putting that kind of work in. He has no amateur career. He had no amateur background. He
Yeah.
basically fought at the Olympics
He
and
came to the
went
pros.
pro, right? And he accomplished a lot in 10 years. I'm not taking anything away
I'm
from
almost
Joshua.
wondering if Joshua's carrying around too much muscle, limiting his movement. He gets tired all the time. He looks like he's too muscular. Like he looks good, but like I wonder if that's slowing him down a bit in there.
Possibly, but I mean, I think at the end of the day, it just comes down to skills, right?
Well, that too,
And
but
and ultimately, that's what it comes down to. Like, I mean, he should know his body. After 10 years of competing, he should know what's what. He should know, how much muscle he should have on his frame. Because yeah, you're right. I mean, muscles need oxygen.
Yeah,
So the
exactly.
more muscular you are, the quicker you're going to gas out, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So from that perspective, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it never seemed to be a problem before, but now you got to have to look at everything if you're Anthony Joshua. Like, I mean, this goes beyond picking a training team. You have to look at yourself because you really showed yourself. Joshua basically showed what level he's at and where
Pretty
he's at.
much.
That's it. He's at that level now. That's Anthony Joshua. Deontay Wilder showed us that you can't, I don't know. Tyson Fury is the exception, okay?
Yeah.
Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder both changed their trainers. You can only learn so much in a few months if you've
Exactly.
always balked a certain way, right? I mean, Deontay was getting his ass kicked by Ortiz until he ate that
Yeah.
right? So I mean, Joshua needs to. I don't think there's another level to Joshua.
This is his top. Yeah.
This is his top level. I think in terms of him doing anything now, he needs a couple tune-up fights before you can even consider putting him back in the picture,
I agree.
right? He's unfortunately he's lost that status of
He's had many chances though, many chances, but
no, and he's been successful on all most of them, right? I mean, but
mhm.
again, it's the quality of the fighter that he's faced always, and
Yeah.
it's not something that you would think about until something like this happens to a guy. Most of us, I would never thought of it. I mean, I would look at who he's fought in the past and go, okay, this isn't, makes sense. This one's easy. This one's
Yeah.
easy. But I don't think you would ever really look at it or break it down until you lose 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
And
He
then
take some time off, give him a tune-up fight.
yeah, I don't think he'd fight Chisora because Chisora seems to be his
Why
buddy.
doesn't he have the Why doesn't he have the trilogy with Ruiz? If Ruiz beats Ortiz, why not finish that up? They're 1-1.
Well, you can finish that, but I think Dillian White would be a fun fight too.
That'd be fun.
Right? I think that'd be a good tune-up fight. I think Dillian coming off his victory over Chisora too. Or no, Chisora beat him. Sorry. It'd be a nice little bounce back fight for.
Maybe they'll fight Chisora, man.
Sorry,
Maybe they'll fight Derek and Joshua.
who did you know? Sorry, Chisora beat Pulev. I'm sorry. Why am I thinking that?
Dillian White got knocked out by Fury.
Exactly. Sorry. Pardon me. Pardon me. Um, it might be a good match for both of those guys. Coming
Yep.
off losses and kind of something they both kind of need, right?
Yep. Be fun.
Um, but I think Joshua would beat him.
You'd think so, but these guys rough it up and fight, pretty hard. So he doesn't like that style.
Yeah.
So I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well,
He would be the
again,
favorite though.
time will tell, my friend. Time will tell. But hey, today is August the 25th. So what happened on this day in boxing,
I
my
got a
friend?
good one today. So this wasn't a
Yeah.
fight, but this is somebody that passed away 15 years ago today. Diego Chico Corrales, who had one of the greatest fights probably in 2005 at Mandalay Bay against Castilla. I said that in one of our second boxing podcasts. We were talking about which fights the fans should watch. Castilla versus Corrales, 2005 Mandalay Bay on Showtime, round 10. He got knocked down twice. Corrales got up, finished the fight. Ref stopped it. TKO on Castilla. Now, how did he pass away? He was only 25 years old. He was driving his motorcycle in Vegas. He went to pass a car. He had a little bit too much to drink, lost control, slammed into the back of a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate, man.
Prior to
Yeah.
his famous fight against Castillo, he went to jail for 14 months for domestic abuse against his girlfriend, who was pregnant at the time. So I'm not saying he was the greatest guy in town, but he was a good fighter. He actually probably Mayweather's best fight ever. I thought we looked at his best. So he actually knocked out Chico Corrales. So that was when Mayweather was still Pretty Boy Floyd at the time. I think that was in 03, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
03, 02, on his
Yeah.
way up.
Mm-hmm.
So people, if you haven't seen Corrales versus Castilla, 2005, fight one, watch that fight. It's one of the top 5 greatest fights ever, especially round 10.
Yeah, I know. It was an amazing fight. Even part two was
So
really
rest in
good
peace
too.
to Chico. I actually watched that fight only because my brother had a box in 05 where you could watch, I don't know, one of those black boxes. You could watch some
Yeah.
stuff in
Yeah.
the States.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was flipping through it. Oh, Showtime's on. And that's how I ended up seeing it. But yeah, rest in peace to Diego Chico Corrales. Amazing fight.
100%, man.
One of the best
100%.
ever.
No, that was a really good fight. I mean, one of yeah, you know what, everybody, you go and watch that fight.
Check it out.
Absolutely.
Especially if you don't want to watch a whole fight. YouTube at round 10. You'll be floored with how good it is.
No, if you're new to boxing and you want to become a fan, this is one of those fights that will make you a fan,
Yeah,
in my
unbelievable
opinion.
heart.
So we got
Two-time
Ichiro.
champion. So he's done it all, and it's sad that he went out. He was only 25 when he passed.
Yeah.
30,
Now,
30, sorry, when he died. Sad.
unfortunate.
You
But
know,
hey,
if he was alive today, he'd be 45 years old. He'd still be a young man.
he's still a young man, probably retired. I wonder what his legacy would have been.
I don't know. I think he had a lot of heart. He had a lot of knockouts. He got knocked out a lot, but he gave it all, man. He was exciting to watch. He just balls to the wall fighter.
100%. Um, if you got a moment, I'd like to go off topic here a little bit. I see Ichiro behind you. He's getting inducted this, I guess, on the 27th. Is it the Hall of the what is it, Seattle Mariners Hall of Fame, or what
Yeah,
are they
they're
doing with
retiring
him?
his number.
Okay, how tell us about Ichiro, man. You're a big fan.
Yeah.
What
So
was it about him?
he came when he was 28 years old from Japan, although they knew about him since 96. You look back at some older commercials, it's got a commercial when he first, sorry, not a commercial, but a vignette when he meets Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan of baseball in Japan. Anyways, Mariners signed him in 2001.
Hmm.
He was 28 years old. People forget that. So he already was older. I seen him in 2001 because I go to Mariners games every year. Left-handed batter, and he just slapped the ball down third base line and ran it out. I've never seen a player run so fast. He's a small guy, but his arm, laser beams. He could throw from left field all the way to third base to home. That year, he had 262 hits in his rookie year. It was rookie of the year. That Mariners team was still the greatest Mariners team ever as far as wins. They won 116 games,
Yeah,
which is the all-time record in baseball. They
yeah,
lost
the
eventually,
second round, right?
yeah, to the
Yeah.
Yankees.
Yeah.
But I mean, he played till he was like 43, and they kind of forced him to retire, sort of. But I've seen him play many times. I was actually in Seattle watching the Yankees versus Mariners when he got traded. So he got traded from Seattle to Yankees. Day before, he's wearing a Mariners uniform. The next day, he had his Yankees uniform on. I was actually in Seattle for that.
Oh wow, how was
So
that for
yeah,
you?
I've seen a lot of good baseball players
But you're a
live.
Yankee
So
fan, right?
yeah, well, I like all baseball, but yeah, growing up, I love Yankees and Braves. Braves because they're always on
Mr. Maddox.
TBS 47. Remember the WCW days?
Yeah.
But
And you got
as
Mr.
far as
Maddox there behind you.
yeah, as far as players that I've watched live, yeah, Ichiro's probably the most exciting player that I've seen play live. And I've seen Griffey and Bonds, and
Yeah.
Randy Johnson, and but the
Have you
way he
had a
could run and
chance?
hit.
Have you had a chance to see Otani yet?
No, I want to though. I've seen Trout his rookie year.
Yeah.
Man, that guy's quick. Couple steps, he's the next
That would
base.
be an easy game to go watch, man, because I mean the Angels are in the division. They're up here. How many games
They're
do they
all the
play in
time.
Seattle a year, right?
Yeah, all the time. So Mariners gonna make
Definitely.
the playoffs this year. If Mariners make the playoffs, I'll go down and check out a game just to watch a playoff game. They're in
Yeah,
the
I know.
wild card.
I'm totally love to go for that, man. The
Let's go
wild
down
card
there.
would be
They
interesting.
will be in the playoffs. Let's go down and check
You
it
think
out.
so?
Yeah, they're in the wild card. They're
They,
in.
they've
Well, not
oh, the,
officially.
but they've gotten better because last time I looked, they were still kind of struggling a little bit.
No, they're in the playoffs. So if they keep doing
Oh
what they're doing, they
wow,
will be in the wild card.
wow, that'd
So
be
they'll be
cool.
either facing Yankees or Houston or something like that.
But would they be at home?
They'll be at home. They'll have a home game, two home games, best of five.
Oh, okay. I thought the wild card was that one off.
Well, it could be the one off, depending where they got. So there's three teams in the wild card. We got Blue Jays, we got Mariners, and who's the other one? Blue Jays, Mariners. I think Minnesota.
Baltimore's in there too, man.
Baltimore's one game behind Mariners right now. They're on
Baltimore's
the tail.
Baltimore's probably the best team in baseball right now.
Yeah, they look good. So, but yeah, if Mariners get in the playoffs, let's go down and watch a game.
Definitely, I'm totally down for that, man. You heard it here
And by the
first.
way, while we're talking about that, next year we got to go to this All-Star games in Seattle.
Is it really?
Yeah, this
Yeah,
summer.
the schedule came out last year, didn't it?
Yeah, so last time they were here, which I
Yeah,
didn't go to, I should have, was in 2001
right.
All-Star game. So now they're back. We got to go check out a home run derby. So fun to watch.
You know, I'm down. Let's do it. Absolutely.
Yeah,
It's only, it's what, a 2 hour drive
yeah,
tops.
exactly. It's only 10 months away before you know it. So
Perfect. All right, Chance, I tell you what, man, we've talked a lot here today about some great
good one.
boxing and good insights and whatnot. This day in history, it's a sad one, but it is what it is. You
Yeah,
know, what could have been, what should have been, we'll never know.
exactly.
That's the way I look at it, right? And
And the moral of the story basically is don't drink and drive, especially if you're on a motorcycle.
well, I mean, just don't drink and drive. Bottom
Period.
line,
Yeah.
don't
Sad.
drink and drive, don't drug and drive, don't do anything stupid when you drive.
Yeah. He had kids. He's a world champ, and look what happened. Gone.
It's all over.
We're still talking about the guy 15 years later, so he had a big
There you
impact.
go. And
So
can you only imagine if he had stuck around and accomplished a bit
exactly.
more? But That being said, we don't know what the rest of it would have been.
Exactly. We don't know.
I hate to mention it, but you talk about serving some time, domestic violence,
Yeah, I lost a lot
whatnot.
of respect for him when I heard that. I hate to say it.
Yeah, but
I'm talking about him
unfortunately,
as a fighter, though. Just
no,
like,
no, 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 100%. But what impact would have all those things had on him later on in life? Who knows,
yeah,
right? So I take him for face value. I take him for the great fighter that he was,
exactly.
and that 10th round stands up against
Anything.
Hagler, Hearns,
Yeah.
that first round and whatnot. It's
Gaudy
one of
Ward,
those.
all that stuff.
Yeah, it's one of those rounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love to do it. I like to take all those rounds and put them into one match,
Yeah, yeah. Put a collage together or something.
collage
Yeah.
together, right? Like round one would be Hearns and Hagler. Round two would be, I don't know, Duran and Sugar Ray. Round three be Corrales and Castilla,
Castilla, yeah.
right?
You could do Gaudy Ward, Fury
Gotti
Wilder.
Award, Mickey, yeah, like fucking hell. There's
You
a
can go
lot
on. I
out
mean,
there.
one day we'll talk about that. We'll put together our favorite 12 rounds in a fight. We'll do a
Yeah,
collage
yeah,
one day.
100%. One round for each of them.
Yeah.
100%. All right, Chance, here's where I am going to say goodbye to you, my friend. Have an awesome weekend if I don't
You
talk
too.
to you or see you soon. Guys, thank you for taking the time and the energy and for letting us into your ears. We're coming up to the weekend here, so everyone, please be safe. Enjoy with your families, your partners, whoever you enjoy with. And again, like we said, don't drink and drive, please. And just kind of think about yourself and think about everyone else around you. A stupid decision like that can change the lives of everybody within 5 to 10 seconds for the rest of their lives. And
Yeah.
you don't want to be the catalyst of the guy who did that. So, or girl who
Well
did that.
said.
So please, guys, be safe and keep doing what you're doing, but be safe so you can come back on Tuesday and listen to another awesome episode of
And
Samp and Chance. That being said, I am Bobby Sampson, and with me is Chance Michaels.
in the words of the great ACDC, those that download, like, and subscribe the podcast, we salute you.
Absolutely. And in the words of Ed Whalen, the ever so famous Ed Whalen, in the meantime and in between time, that's it for Samp and Chance. Everybody have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.